Because Porter is reactive to dogs, we're going to go through Karen London's technique that I got out of her book, Feisty Fido, the watch technique. Now what the watch is we want to condition the dog to sit down and look at us when it sees another dog. The way that we start out by doing this is by getting the dog to look at us in the face on its own. Porter, come. So I have one treat in this hand and several treats in this hand. Whoop. All right, you get one for free. Come here. So I want the dog right here. So holding my hands like this, I'm putting this one on my fingertips. Watch. Watch. So I wait for him to give me his eyes. As soon as he gives me these eyes, I raise it between my eyes and his eyes, and I say the word watch when it touches his lips. So what you want to do is practice this in the house when there are no other dogs, no distraction, probably without Heff being close because we don't want to influence this. Eventually what will happen, watch. Right there, he didn't look at the treats, he looked at me. So what we want to do is stop looking, watch, you're doing such a great job. So eventually what's happening is what's already transitioning now, he's starting to look at me. So then what I do is I look for a place, a dog park, or not necessarily a dog, actually not a dog park, a park where people are going to take dogs.
Which is this neighborhood.
Okay, well you're looking for a place that's specific. So let me draw you a picture. Let's say that I'm looking this way and I can see in between here. This is my side of vision. Over here are trees and over here are shrubs. And there's a trail that goes this way that people are walking their dogs down. Now you want to open the distance up until the dog can sit and take a treat while it sees the other dogs. If it can't, the other dogs are too close. So when you find out whatever this distance is, let's say it's 50 yards. So then when we get to 50 yards, I put Porter, come here, and I would want Porter facing this way. And I'm looking over here and I can see, kind of through the trees, I can see somebody's coming with their dog. As soon as it comes into the line of sight, then I start watching Porter. As soon as he hears the dog and he turns and looks, I say watch. Now, because we've done it at a great enough distance, the dog is able to turn and look away because he doesn't perceive the other dog as an immediate threat. So as soon as he turns up and looks at me, watch. I hold it up again between my eyes and his eyes and then go watch. And basically what we do is we stay at this distance, we keep doing this, and it might take you a couple of days of doing this at this particular distance. So you want to find a place where a lot of dogs are coming by. Eventually what's going to happen is the dog is, you're going to see the dog, and at first, as soon as he sees the dog, you're going to say watch and give him the treat, as soon as he looks at the dog. After a while, you want to kind of add a little bit of pause. So he sees the dog, you're watching him, you wait a half second. If he doesn't look at you, then you say watch and give him the command. What'll happen is after he's done it enough, he's going to see another dog and he's going to sit down and look at you because you redirect him and give him that treat. This is what Karen calls the auto watch. So the first time that he does that, you should pull out like 10 treats and be like, watch, watch, watch. I mean, make them chew each one, but we want to, it's called a jackpot. We want to give him so many of these, like, what did I just do? I want to give that again. And then what happens is eventually when he sees another dog, instead of reacting to the dog, he sits down and looks up at you and gets his reward. Now we're doing this again at a great distance. Once you get to the point where you're getting a lot of, and when you get your first auto watch, that should be like the highlight of your day. You should stop after you give him the 10 treats, roll him over, rub his belly, play with him a little bit, give him all the love and affection you want to. We want him to know just like, I just hit the mother load. And then do it again until, it'll take a couple of days until you start getting the auto watch consistently. Now when you're getting the auto watch consistently, then we start collapsing the distance between us and the other dog. So we're at 50 yards, we're getting an auto watch on a regular basis. Now we go to maybe 47 yards, and we keep on practicing at that distance. Then you keep on gradually getting closer and closer. Now this might be where you move to 47 feet and you practice it a whole bunch, and then the next time you come and practice it the next day, then you go to 43 feet. So this is gonna gradually collapse this. It might take you a week or so. But now he can get closer and closer to other dogs. He's not reacting to them because he's taking them out of his line of sight, looking at you and getting a treat. Now when he sits and he puts his side to the other dog, that tells the other dog, I'm not confronting you. So that's gonna help mellow out the other dogs. And eventually you get to the point where he sees another dog, he instinctively sits down and looks up at you. And because dogs can only think of one thing at a time, it's out of line of sight. Or out of sight, out of mind. So we want to disagree right away when you want to do that. If you let him bark, 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 and then you disagree, what about my 19th bark do you not like? All right, so this is the watch, but before we wrap up the watch, sometimes you're gonna be walking and you're gonna be unexpectedly run into dogs and you don't know what to do. So what Karen does is she has a plan B. Here. Sit. Now I'm letting him nibble on it in my hand to keep him here longer, to give him a chance to, whatever it goes away, to stop focusing on. So what Karen does is her plan B is a U-turn. So when she's walking, what she does is when she's walking, when she gets ready to do it, she kind of leans back and dips her knees a little bit. And then let's say the dog's walking here. When the dog sees you dip your knees, it's going to start looking at you. Then you have a treat, and you go like this. And well, we're doing it with Heff. And then as soon as you turn, you give the dog the treat, and you say turn, or whatever the command word you want to use for a turn is. Again, we want to do this so often, and I would do this when you're on a walk and you don't see another dog. You're just walking down the street, there's nobody around. Practice doing a U-turn for no reason, suddenly, abruptly. You want to do it so often they have muscle memory. So you do see another dog that comes out a corner unexpectedly, you don't have time to do the watch, you just turn and walk the other way, and the dog is used to turning and walking and getting that treat. So the turn is really your plan B, your alternate when you're not prepared for it. But if you do this well enough, after a while the dog just sees another dog, I'm just going to sit down and look at you, and I'm not going to think about the other dog. Combined with adding the rules and structure in the house, the dog starts to see, I don't have to worry about this, my guardians have this under control. So that's the watch exercise. I'll get to your question here. I want to keep it relatively short for the video. The book is from Karen London and another behaviorist, I can't remember her name, but it's called Feisty Fido, Solutions for a Leash Reactive Dog. I'll probably have it linked underneath this video on my website. So go ahead and order the book. It's an easy read and it's really effective.